I love Matthew's journey as a pastor because, you know, you think of a person who's a pastor who, and if they're doing it the right way, their life is filled with dealing with the church, the people in the church, and you sometimes forget that they also have a life at home, and that they have the complexities that all of us deal with at home. And so here's a guy whose wife can't get pregnant, and they're dealing with the sadness of infertility and the frustrations and all of that. In addition to, he has an encounter with what seems to be almost a crazy street preacher who's carrying this giant cross on wheels, and do you believe in the cross of Christ? And he won't get out of my way as I'm driving. And it's one of these weird moments that just happen in your life, and how deeply he was affected by that encounter. Because what really does being a person of belief mean? What does the cross really mean to my character? And he was asked to go back and look at it, and then he writes a sermon, gives a sermon, and that begins this entire melding of 12 different lives and how they reach out and without knowing to each other from that one moment, that one guy, crazy guy in a crosswalk. That's a pretty cool thing as an actor to read and say, what a moment to play. And what a great arc from the beginning to the end. I get to start it and I get to finish it. That's cool. Well, I think faith is so critical for people who have faith and people who don't have faith. It's a constant conversation. And I find that people of faith are in their deepest moments and in their greatest joys, quite frankly, never alone. What is more comforting than that? And I find that faith for that reason alone is of the utmost importance. But also, there's always opportunity. It never gives up on you. And that until the second you take your last breath, there is an opportunity to have faith. And no matter what kind of human being, no matter how horrible you are, there is always an opportunity. I mean, that is just the greatest gift that we all have. And we're all of different faiths. I mean, you run into people, Hollywood is run by people of all different kinds of faith. But faith is important to all of us across the world, you're finding out, right? I hope that people who go see Do You Believe will walk out of there saying that was a great movie. That was a great movie. There was action, there was adventure, there was love, there was kindness, there was everything that you would experience in society in a big way, you'll find in the movie. And you walk out of there and say, that was amazing. And I was touched, I was surprised, I was emotionally moved several times in that movie. That's what I hope they walk away with. And I consider myself pretty jaded. I got goosebumps watching this movie several times, and I'm proud of it. We're getting almost to our 25th anniversary of being married, and our philosophy was, when our kids were young, to try to never work at the same time. And we had a period where we were working at the same time, but we happened to be working on the same lot. She was doing the John Larroquette show, and I was doing Married with Children, and so that was very cool. It was a magical time, and our kid was super young at that moment. So, but throughout our history as a couple, we've sort of decided there are times where we say no to things because, or I couldn't do something in Vancouver, I couldn't do something out of town, just because it wasn't the right thing to do. And so we've made sacrifices. It has hurt our careers at times, and that's just the way it goes, because my personal philosophy is that you make these choices in life, and everything costs you something. So what are you willing to pay? What are you willing to give up to get that? And for me, it was never, and it never will be, my family.